What if you could take that risk, make that change, reach that goal, live your best life? Welcome to another episode of the What If You Could podcast, where we get together with amazing experts and everyday people who share challenges, encourage healing, and explore the possibilities that life has to offer. I'm your host, Gary Scott, and I'm excited that you're along for the ride. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the What If You Could podcast. And I got a great guest for us today. He's going to help us with a lot of interesting healing. We've got hypnosis, we've got counseling, we have coaching. We are going to come out of here our ultimate selves. So, welcome, everybody, Mr. Jason Medlock.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Gary. It's a pleasure to be on the What If podcast and what if you could? And I'm excited. I'm excited to share a number of different topics. We want to help people. We want to help people grow. We want to help people raise their consciousness, raise their vibration with a number of different techniques, a number of different cognitive reframing tools that people can use to get better instantly. And the power of hypnosis, the power of quantum healing hypnosis in particular, meditation, different ways to use visualization techniques to your benefit. So as you can see, I'm excited to be with you, Gary, and let's just get it going.
I love it. I love it. I'm already hypnotized by you, so I'm ready to go. So, Jason, I'm just going to read your bio real quick, and we'll get cooking because you've got so much great stuff. So, everybody, we have Mr. Medlock. He offers a transformative approaches using mental game coaching and quantum healing hypnosis technique concepts. Mr. Medlock is a certified practitioner in various healing modalities and a published author for his best-selling book, Empowered by Consciousness. Medlock's mental game plan is not just a theory, but a practical guide to mental training for athletes and coaches. His coaching program, the RPM Experience, is the ultimate mental performance coaching program designed to deliver results. It goes beyond traditional methods, focusing on reacting, pacing, and motivation to unlock your true potential. Medlock is a former member of several prestigious associations, reflecting his deep connections and expertise in sports industry. His affiliations have included the NFL, the Canadian Football League, the Canadian Players Association, the National Basketball Players Association, and the Sports Lawyers Association. These memberships underscore his comprehensive understanding of the sports world from administrative, legal, and competitive standpoints. And we haven't even touched all the great stuff you've got going. So like I mentioned, I'm just going to let you go. You've got so much great stuff. I don't have a lot of notes written down because just a couple of the topics I think are going to unleash so much. But I do, because I'm contractually obligated by myself, to ask you the what if you could question. So, Mr. Medlock, have you ever had a what if you could moment, or do you have a what if you could thought that you'd like to share for the gang before we get started?
I do, and it has to do with metaphysical. And I know you read a blurb of my sports background, but man, it's so much more than that. And what if I could help raise the vibration, raise the frequency of every person in this world? And imagine that, Gary, no more war, no more strife, no more ideology of one, two, three, four billionaires, no more of this white, black, Asian, no more of this grouping people in categories. If the vibration and the frequency is raised, it will all be about love. It'll all be about unity. It will all be about a race of people that are different, but have a common goal, a common consciousness. That's what, if I could do that, that would make us move from this third dimensional construct to 5D, the 5D earth, the new earth, the earth that is about peace, about love, and about happiness. What if I could raise the vibration of every person on this planet? That would be my what if I could moment.
Wow. Okay. Let's get into that. I mean, imagine if, not to quote John Lennon, but I mean, imagine that, right? Imagine if somehow, right, Jason Medlock was able to just hypnotize everybody at one time, like the Men in Black with their little zappy things, right? And just everybody for just a millisecond just stopped, right? Stop all the crap. Stop the mind control from the media. Stop the hate. Stop the taking sides, right? Stop and just everybody just got that same vibe, right? Like you said, wouldn't that be amazing what we could achieve as a planet, as a people?
It would be amazing. We would move from a type one civilization to a type two civilization. We will move from this uh, technology that we currently have, which is low end technology, to the technology that would stop homelessness, would eliminate the need of famine, would provide unlimited energy for everyone, that would move us into the stars, that would move us into other galaxies, that would allow us to be a space-faring nation, if for that one moment that you could hypnotize people to just say, we are one. We are one race, which is the human race.
Yeah.
And just imagine that, Gary, the ability to go outside and hop in your air gravity, I'm sorry, your gravity laden vehicle that takes you whoom, to the other side of town in a matter of seconds. Imagine being able to teleport from your own home to a family member's house that's in New Zealand or across the continent. This type of technology allows the civilization, this type of togetherness, this type of cohesive sharing allows us to grow exponentially. And I know that it's a far out concept for some,
Mhm.
but for some of us, we know that we're already doing this, but it's being hidden from us. It's being hidden by a few men across this globe who feel like we're not ready for it. They are in this breakaway civilization, separating themselves from the population of the planet, is going to be a detriment, but they'll lose. They'll lose that battle. But that moment, that second in hypnosis, just imagine everyone coming together and achieving all those goals.
And they're terrified of that. They're terrified of that, whoever they are. But I agree with you. And I think about that all the time, especially the last couple of years. You think to yourself, why? Why? Why don't they want us all to get along? Why don't they all want people to be fed? Why don't they all want us to be healthy? What is the end game for whomever's blocking that? Why? What? It just
I
doesn't make
think it's
sense to me.
simple. We won't be a slave planet. We don't look at it in particular as us being slaves because we're not in shackles, but the food poisoning, the water contamination, the chemicals in everything that we eat, the thought process that we have to attack each other, the less likely that we would engage in peace with our neighbor. All the things that keeps us in conflict is slavery,
Yeah.
and this is a slave planet that is led by a few, and they supposedly are getting help from otherworldly beings, that are here, that have been here before us, that only want to see us in this mentality, this smallness of who we really are, which we are beautiful beings made of light and sound, created by God, created by the Almighty, the Source, Buddha, Jesus, God, whoever you call the higher person or the higher being that you worship in your life. It's one creator who created us. And that's why, Gary, it's important. And I said that, what if I could raise our vibration, raise our frequency so that we are closer to Christ consciousness? And we all feel like that we are individually smart and we are individually, I did this and I did that. No, we didn't. Our consciousness is beamed in from a higher place. We think here on earth with our conscious, okay, with our left side of the brain. The ego is tied to the conscious mind to allow us to recognize that I'm talking to Gary right now, and I have another appointment in another hour, and I
Yeah.
have to do this, I have to do that. Uh, that's the conscious mind, but the subconscious mind, the higher self, is a totally different ball game. The subconscious mind knows everything about you, knows everything that you've done, knows everything that you will do, and has a tab on every life you've ever lived. And the subconscious mind is the spirit within you, in your actual conscience that you have an arm, that I am a human. Oh, that I can walk. Oh, when I go outside, I'm breathing air. I'm conscious of these things. That understanding is being beamed in from another place. Scientists cannot figure out how we understand our awareness, consciousness. It is not local. So in that sense, if we as a species would just understand that if we raised ourselves, our vibration, well, Jason's talking all this stuff about if we do this, if we do that, if we, how do we do it? You do it by one simple thing, moving love into your heart, moving love and light into your heart. Well, still, that doesn't help me, Jason. How do you do that? Well, you spend time with yourself, quiet time. Move it away, Gary, from the hustle and the bustle and the outside noise, but give yourself 10 minutes a day and then gradually move to 15 and 20 minutes a day, quiet, in your back room, in the closet, away from the kids, at night when they're sleeping, your husband is asleep, or when your wife is asleep, because they don't want to see you practicing this stuff. Or in the morning when no one wakes up, move yourself to a spot where you can spend time with you. And the quieter you get within yourself, Gary, the quieter you can calm and move things out, the more you can hear, the more you can see, the more your intuitive ability grows, the higher your frequency raises.
Mm.
Practice, practice over and over and over until you finally reach the level of transcendence, a level of peace. And now you can discern right from wrong simply because you've isolated yourself and found this level of peace and
Mhm.
this love that's right there. And the frequency raises in your body, it raises your vibration. And you all of a sudden, you're not that person who's full of hate anymore. You're not that person who's full of animosity anymore. You can see the emotions coming slowly. You can refrain from them by interjecting positive self-talk, positive images, positivity. Oh, I see you coming slower this time. Before this, when that emotion came, I reacted quick. You can't tell me what to do. I don't like you. My reaction was so knee jerk. But now that I've slowed myself down, now that I've gotten a good understanding of me and I love me, and the light is protruding from my body, now I have a better understanding because I've isolated this world that's around me.
Mm.
And now my vibration is moving higher and I love. Doesn't mean that you have to become a pastor. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you have to become religious. No, you just taking control of your life and you slow things down and you now can see the biggest scam in the world is the outside world and what they're doing to us with the food, with the radio, with the music, with the policies, with the hate, with the two-party system, with all of these things that they're filtering into our minds. You can finally see.
Yeah. You know, I just got goosebumps and it's just dragging me down so many rabbit holes I wasn't anticipating. But just to focus on where you started, though, which is energy and light. And people will say, well, yeah, all right, Jason, that's all cool and well, but this or that and the other thing. And people don't get is they're doing it all day anyways. They're just doing it. They're being controlled by it, and the negativity is controlling it. When you're saying the energy's there, you're just focusing or in the wrong direction, or you're allowing your energy to be focused by someone else, an external force that is not having your best interest in mind. You need to control that energy, but that light, because that's all we are. We're just energy and light, right? I mean, that's what we are as beings. And if we don't start pushing away that negative energy, that negative light, if we don't start reaching within, like you said, take that time, find your light, find your energy, find your soul, find your purpose, find your God, your universe, whatever, right? If not, man, we're just headed in a really bad place.
And you're
So I
headed for
love what you're
reincarnation.
saying.
You're
I
headed for
love what you're saying.
reincarnation back here. You're
Yeah.
headed for another trial to come back to Earth to learn. You're picking up karma if you can't adjust the vibration and start to learn from the mistakes. Start to love thy neighbor. Start to create this sense of peace within yourself. Well, energy and light and love. Well, Jason, give me more. Well, I can give you a quick tip on how to raise your vibration instantly. And if this doesn't raise your vibration, then you're purposely not allowing yourself to. And once you can sit in a quiet place and you've gotten yourself to a point to where you can meditate for about 7 to 10 minutes, imagine a pure white light inside of your body that's filling your whole body. And just to stay there for a moment and imagine this body that's filled with light. And then as you're driving to the next stop sign or the next red light, imagine the light has filled the entire inside of the car, this pure white light. And then as you imagine this, let's say you're sitting in your living room, imagine the whole house interior is pure light, and then the neighborhood, and then the city, and then the entire world. It instantly raises your vibration. And once you've done this 1.5 1 minute exercise, and you open your eyes, you feel much better. You're elevated. And then allow the love and allow the feelings to be what they are. And there's a book, Gary, called Be Here Now by Ram Dass.
Mm.
Be Here Now just says, just be who you are.
Mm.
Just be. Don't let the human ego interrupt this flow, this peace that you built for yourself, this care, this innate ability to have empathy for others, putting yourself in the shoes of the person you're speaking to, so condescending, can help you raise your vibration. If you start to build the power of self awareness, I teach the power of self awareness as one of the essentials, the 12 essentials for an elite mindset. And I teach this twice a week here in Houston, Texas, in the Harris County Supervision and Corrections Department to the transitioning inmates that have been given a second chance that are on probation. I work with the Gateway Foundation, and I'm a mental performance coach, teaching these principles of the power of self-awareness, understanding your past, understanding your future, and your present, and how those two intertwine together. And when we can build our self awareness, the only way we do this is slow down and understand who we are first. And now you're able to be self aware. You know, I was rude to my wife, and you catch it because you're aware, and you start to smooth out some things that are in your personality. You start to release some of the dead negative energy that's attached to you, that feels like it has a place and it has a right to be there. And I learned this from Beatty McMichael. I interviewed a guy named Beatty McMichael a few days ago. The Freedom of Prayer. That's the name of his book. And he talked about how we have these dark energies that are all around us, and some of them are attached, and they feel that they have a right to be attached to you because you are ugly. You are a clown. You do disrespect your wife. You do You do not respect your daughters because you're constantly at work harassing other women. So this demon, this demonic energy is attached to you because that's what you do. And it has a right to be there. But the power of prayer, the power of meditation, the actual understanding of awareness. I'm aware that I'm a jerk. I'm aware that I need help. Let me pray about this and move God to remove this demon and give it no space. Give it no space in my energy. So those are a lot of the things that you can do to quickly raise your vibration and to recognize what is attacking you and how you can control it and fix it and rid it from your life.
Yeah. I love that. I want to dig deep into your quantum healing hypnosis technique. But I just want to touch on that time and that light and that energy. And I think you need to include just the grounding, the earth, the nature. You have to find time to get yourself out into nature, on the grass, in the trees, by water. I mean, don't you think? I mean, just for your soul, I think for our souls, we're just locked in these cement places or in these buildings. We got the radiation around us. We got G5 all over the place. Our bodies are just being attacked from so many different things, and we don't have a lot of ways, or we're not taking the ways that we have in order to cleanse our soul, cleanse our body, cleanse our energy. So I love where you're going with that. So talk to me about the quantum healing hypnosis technique. I mean, because I feel already what you're doing. So, I mean, when you're working with people, is that your 12-week workshop that you do? Is that for that, or walk us through that?
I'll walk you through that. I have to go backwards though, because Gary, you're absolutely right. Grounding, and it's a part of what I do. I just failed to mention it, but thank you for that. And then let's just say that I'm working with a client and I'm doing energy healing. I'm a level 3 galactic energy healer. And people may say, well, what the crap is that? Well, if you've ever heard of Reiki energy healing,
Hmm.
I'm a galactic energy healer. I use patterns and channeled from different dimensions, and I just use it the same process of healing. And I won't go into the minutia, but if I'm preparing you, Gary, to be healed, and we're in a session, we're on a Zoom session, because this healing data can be transferred through the screen. I do not have to be there with you. This is not touch therapy. This is healing energy. Okay, so
I can
I'm
feel it.
guiding
I
you.
can already feel it. You don't need to be here with me. I can
Yes.
already feel it.
So I'm guiding you and I'm like, Gary, just relax. And I'm saying to you, now, firmly plant your feet on the ground and just notice the subtleness of the ground. And if you're outside, Gary, great. Feel the grass and feel the earth and imagine the energy in the roots coming through the earth. And the Mother Earth is full of energy and it's full of love and it's full of care. So imagine those roots coming up through the ground, into the body, through the feet, spreading those nutrients and that energy through the body, grounding you in a place where nothing can harm you. And as we receive this energy from Mother Earth, this grounding energy, nothing will bother you. This will this will help you be at peace. This will help you be at a constant before we move on to administer the healing that you need. So I would bring them through this process of grounding so that we can be protected from any energies or any dark spirits that may be lurking. This grounding energy will protect you. And then from there, we move into the session. So grounding is very important. I ground before I meditate. I ground before I go teach. When I get there, when before those guys, they bring those guys in or the ladies in, I'll ground to protect myself from the dark energies. Okay.
Just I want to get into that, but just to finish at it, it's so crucial. I mean, how many people will go weeks without taking off their shoes and standing on grass. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, or getting in nature, of just feeling, putting your feet in a stream. You know what I mean? I mean, we've lost that. It's just, it's been stolen from us. And so I love that you do that. I didn't want to go too much down that rabbit hole, but I mean, it's crucial to our souls and our body, and we just don't do it. So I love that you're doing that. So I obviously got to ask one quick question before I go into the quantum healing hypnosis. Now, you're a third stage galactic. Did I get that right? Tell me
Yes,
about what's that title
galactic
again? I
energy
want to know
healing.
about this galactic thing real quick.
Yes, and it's, you can Google it, it's out there. Galactic energy healing, and what we do. Chloe Moore's. I went to the Chloe Moore's School of spirituality school, and galactic energy healing is a energy healing method. And Reiki energy, we already understand that Reiki energy or beams of energy that's already coming into the planet Earth, and Reiki masters tap into this energy, and they rub their hands together, and they work through the body, trying to find the meridians, the energy centers in the body that are stuck. It could be the crown chakra. It could be the throat. It could be they working through the body, looking for the meridians that are the energy wheels that turn in the body. And when they find those areas, they work that area to turn those wheels. And I'm paraphrasing, but to, create the energy back in that area so that it's almost like an energy cleansing and to rejuvenate the body. Galactic energy healing, whether it's anxiety, depression, whether it's something physically wrong with the body, a ache, a pain, something mental, we channel. Now, channeling is something else that I'm certified in, but we channel. And channeling doesn't mean I sit here and, Gary, I'm here to give you a message from, we watch some of the people who are able to have this energy because they've raised their frequency to that level to be able to communicate with other beings. Just like you can hear God speak to you. There are other beings outside of this realm that are able to speak to us. So I don't channel in that way. And I've always told my instructor, hey, I'm not hearing anything, but I see the images. I see the pictures, the message, the information is like coming to me. I just see it and feel it. She's like, Jason, that's channeling. When you're a music artist and you're sitting there and you come up with this hit, don't think that they did that. They've reached a level of frequency and it was a download. She said, so Jason, that's what channeling. She said, everybody on this planet channels. They just have not been taught to what varying level. So, Gary, so when I'm channeling, I channel the pattern, the energy pattern that I need. And then once I get it, there's a pattern, then you draw the pattern, you know. And then once I draw it, I push it to the person. So we have all these different patterns that have been channeled, right? In our material, in our book that we had to study and learn these patterns. And I'm interviewing you and you're saying, Jason, I'm just this anxiety and I'm just, I have all this pressure. I'm like, okay, Gary, well, we're gonna get to that and we'll work on that. And okay, now let's get you grounded. I get you grounded. And while you're there on that, Gary, close your eyes. As I move through space and time and find the right healing tool for you. I'm going to play some soft music and I just want you to relax while I channel the healing that you need. And I'll close my eyes and I'll go through moving myself into a space and I'll see the pattern that I need. And then I'll know what it is for you. And this pattern, then I'll just draw the pattern on the screen and I'll push it. And I'll go through a number of different conversations with you. Do you feel differently? I'll just, there's a variety of things that I'll go through, similar to Reiki energy healing, but that's galactic energy healing. And I did the level one course, the level two course, and I'm a level three certified healer now. So it means that I can teach it to someone else. But
That
I
is absolutely
rarely
awesome.
I use it sometimes,
Never
but
heard that. It's awesome. Never
yeah,
heard of that.
and I use it sometimes, but quantum healing hypnosis has these tools, these modalities are similar, a number of them that are out there. I found Dolores Cannon's method to be fascinating, Gary. And I said that, hey, I'm going to use this. I'm a level two quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner. And I've found so much success doing the same thing, but going well beyond using that technique. So you learn things in college, Gary, and you learn how to do a certain thing. Then you get to a job and they can do it better. And then you get to another job. Oh, we were doing it that way, but this is better. The same way as a practitioner of healing, there are always different, always all these different methods, always something that can do it better or faster, but they all achieve one goal, and that's healing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for explaining that to me and walking me through that. That's fascinating. I'm absolutely going to be going down that rabbit hole and check that out. So, but I don't want to skip getting into the quantum healing
Yes,
hypnosis techniques.
yes.
There's two things that you have that you've got the quantum. I mean, you've got a million modalities that you're working on, but the quantum healing hypnosis technique and the emotional freedom technique. But let's talk about that quantum healing hypnosis technique.
Okay.
That's fascinating to me.
The quantum healing hypnosis technique takes you further beyond than clinical hypnosis, which is the hypnosis that you go to the university and get be certified by the state, and the board has to certify you. That's clinical hypnosis, which is boring. I respect it. I use it, but it's quantum hypnosis allows you to experience a different side of yourself. It allows you to move yourself to different lifetimes. There's a past life regression tool that is integrated into quantum healing hypnosis. Clinical hypnosis, understand that we're in a level of theta brainwave state throughout the day. Right now, you're focused on me. You're in a level of theta, the state of focus and relax. Athletes train in the theta brainwave state. When you're watching a movie, you're in a level of theta brainwave state. When you're uh, receiving hypnosis, you're in a relaxed level of deep theta because you've been moved there by a therapist's voice, moving you into the trance state, a state of relaxation, so that we can make suggestions to you on stopping eating so much, stop smoking, stop, this behavior, whatever it is that you want in that deeper theta brainwave state. Quantum healing hypnosis operates in the somnambulistic state of theta, which is a deeper state where you're almost asleep, but your mind is active. And from that state, we're able to access things. We're able to get questions answered that you wrote down that you'd like to know about your life, that you'd like to know about your job, your future, anything that you'd like to know to help you in this particular lifetime. So we're able to move you so much deeper. And there's some things that happen in that state. We move you to different past lives. We find out information that can help you. And we're only interested in things that can help you in this current lifetime. We do not go on fishing expeditions trying to figure out if your husband is cheating. If Dolores didn't develop the concept for us to be spies. But this deep somnambulistic state allows you to experience deep concepts of who you were, who you are in the future, and who you are right now. And as we move our clients through these different lifetimes or through these different experiences, we are able to have contact with the higher self. And the higher self, the subconscious mind, your spirit, whatever they want to call it, is this version of you that exists within you that answers all your questions. And everybody's seen Dolores, and they've seen how she talks about, um, um, people that she's helped, she's healed thousands of people from disease, physical and mental, and she's guided people on many adventures. If you've read her books, she's moved so far to where she's been able to access you before you've even incarnated in the spiritual realm. And that's how she's written all those books from people. She's not making this up. This stuff is on audio tape. She's just recording it. So quantum healing hypnosis allows you to explore different aspects of who you are. And here's a simple analogy I can give you. Gary, if you cut your hand and don't use neosporin, it'll heal in maybe 2, 3 days. It'll heal on its own. Well, how does that happen? Well, scientifically, the brain sends a message to the cells. The electric a pulse to the cells, and the cells. Okay, we have an emergency. It moves to the area of the thumb, and it begins to disperse antibodies, and it begins to heal. We know this. Even your 5-year-old kid knows that. Oh, well, it's going to heal soon. But who told the brain to do that? The higher self, the consciousness that we're all connected to. Who is directing the brain? Okay, well, it's me. Okay, well, your brain is thinking for the vessel. Who's directing the brain? So we know that the brain will heal when directed to heal. But what if we could move to the somnambulistic state where we're right there in conversation with the higher self, which is coming from you, speaking through you? And we're saying Gary is dealing with a heart issue. Can you help him? Can you bring healing to Gary? Gary's heart is caused by his lack of understanding for the love of his daughter. He hasn't learned his lesson yet. Gary needs to understand empathy and love. And if he can understand those things, the healing will be brought to him. Gary's with me today because he does want to change. Can you help him move in that direction? So we're actually having conversations back and forth, and the healing is then brought to the heart. But you had to ask yourself, wow, so if the brain can heal a cut, if you can move that deep to ask whoever told the brain to heal, could you heal the heart? Could you heal the ligament in the knee? Could you heal this liver disease? So the healing happens at the direction of the higher self to this unit that the spirit is encased in, this human body that holds light, energy, and sound. This consciousness that's connected to this spirit that its job is to protect Gary's body and to make sure that Gary does everything and fulfills everything he's doing while he's incarnated. So quantum hypnosis, Gary, is so fabulous. Um, it is a wonderful brand of hypnosis. I interview people before I even do it. I never do it online. We're not allowed to do it online. We do it in the office. It's about a 4.5 to 5.5 hour process. The healing that comes from a session like that is absolutely incredible. I know now you're talking to a student of Dolores, and everybody has seen Dolores's work, but now you hear from a student of Dolores that, when I first witnessed it for myself, Gary, with a lady on my on my couch. And I'm like, oh God, who is that talking? But I had to hold it in myself. Yes, I was being so professional, but I was amazed at the voice that was coming from the woman. It was not her during our interview process. I knew how she talked. I knew how she thought. I was interviewing her and talking to her about the issues. I could get a sense of her level of intelligence. Oh, but when she went under, and I was able to then tap in. I was amazed at the way she was talking to me and how we were going through all the questions that she had written down that she wanted to know, and the healing that she wanted the contacts out of her eyes, and she wanted her vision back. She wanted her true vision back, and it was granted to her. And when I told her to now open your eyes, and I can't, I'm like, relax. They're still working. They're still working on the vision. It will be okay. Just relax. I can't open my eyes. Just relax. Give it a few minutes. And after a few minutes, Gary, she then opened her eyes. And I said, are you okay? She says, I feel good. I'm okay. I'm okay. I said, great, great, great. She called me 3 or 4 days later, hadn't worn her glasses since. So I was a
Wait,
level one
What is Dolores's last name? Who's this Dolores now? I gotta look at this.
Dolores Cannon.
Cannon.
Cannon. She's passed away, but she developed the quantum healing hypnosis technique, QHHT. Man, she is so popular. I mean, she's all over YouTube. She's been passed for a while. Her school is the Quantum Healing Hypnosis School of Hypnosis. She is a icon in the spirituality realm.
Mhm.
But when you look her up, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You're like, wow, okay, I see who she is now. She's the
Well,
white lady with the white. She has the
I
white hair, and
yeah, I can't believe maybe once I see her, it'll come in, but
you'll
I
know.
can't believe I have not
Yes. And,
read or
and
heard
and
of it.
my company is Hypnos Awakening, and I practice quantum healing hypnosis. There's some people, Gary, that don't need it. They're they're trying to stop a smoking habit. Okay, well, we can just do regular clinical hypnosis, and you need 3 sessions, and I can really help you change that habit. Quantum hypnosis is for people who want more. They had dreams. They keep having
I can't
recurring.
imagine, Jason, that anybody. I mean, immediately the two things that came to my mind is trauma and forgiveness. I would imagine it releases or opens up a lot of trauma because we all have massive trauma buried in us, but also forgiveness. I mean, self-forgiveness is like impossible. You got to go way down there for some people. I don't want to, you know what I mean? But I'd imagine that opens up some big time just self-forgiveness, like to forgive yourself for whatever, right?
Absolutely, but that's why they're there because they've manifested this trauma into a disease.
Yeah.
They're so far gone with this disruptive behavior or these dreams they're having or this how do I get myself out of this. Now they're needing the session, and when we do perform the session, then they're brought this level of peace. And I am not the one that's healing. They are healing themselves from the audio that's recorded. They get the audio, they listen to it over and over, they hear the responses, and it's up to them to take action and let the healing happen. Normally, it takes about 3 days after a QHHT session, and then the person is, in most cases, they're healed. So it's just like with any type of therapy that maybe you're dealing with a mental health therapy. If you follow everything they say to do, then you will be healed. You have to do the work. And that's the same with quantum hypnosis, except you can hear yourself responding to these questions that you wanted to know. And if you do something different outside of what you said needed to happen, then go figure. You're just not going to be healed, and that reincarnation for you will come back sooner. After you've left here, you'll be back quickly to retake this lesson on this schoolyard we call Earth.
Mm. How does that tie into the emotional then? How does that tie into your emotional freedom technique? Because I'd
Now,
imagine once you've done that quantum healing hypnosis, you're already emotionally free. I would
now the
imagine. So how are they different? How are they
Now,
different?
the emotional freedom technique is not a branded modality of mine. EFT tapping is out there for the masses to use. I've incorporated the emotional freedom technique in my coaching program, which is the 12 RPMs, the 12 essentials to an elite mindset. And I use the emotional freedom technique. It's just like um, uh, that you're getting what the pins that you stick on acupuncture. It's
Mhm.
just like acupuncture. And what is acupuncture? Maybe a spinoff of Reiki, finding the energy points of the body and drop the pin to stop the sinus infection, the allergies, the pain in your shoulder, that from playing racquetball, from playing tennis, the pain in your knee. They have all the needles in the knee. This emotional trauma that you're going through. People go get acupuncture for that. EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique
Mhm.
is the same way. Tapping on top of the eyebrow, tapping up under the eyelid. I release this emotion that I have towards my aunt. I forgive her for the things that she's done to me. I'm fine. I am okay with who I am, the side of the temple. That stress never bothers me and it never will. I am happy. I am safe up under the lip. I am free now and I am free to be happy and I am okay. I feel great. Nothing bothers me up under the lip. Okay. Under the clavicle. This energy, this happiness I feel, I'm okay with who I am under the arm. So you rate the emotional stress that you're going through before you start to tap from 1 to 10. Gary, how does it feel? It's a 7 or 8, Jason. Okay, let's go through the tapping. Boo, boo, boo. We do the tapping. Then once we finish that round of tapping, I'll ask my clients, rate that emotion that you feel that has been bothering you all week. Where's it at right now? Man, it's at a 3. Okay, let's go round two. We go round two. Top of the eyebrow, under the eyelid, side of the temple, top of the lip, under the lip. Okay, under the clavicle, under the armpit, right here at the chop. You can do that too. I know. Sometimes I don't do the chop part of your finger, but and then you. How's that feel now, Gary? I don't even feel it. I don't feel that emotional, that stress at all now, Jason. So EFT tapping has just been approved by the National Veterans Association. And on my show, Expansion of Consciousness on YouTube, I'm in season 6 right now. Um, I had one of the world-renowned tappers on my show, Dr. Dawson. Dr. Dawson came on my show and he fought to get emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping, approved by the Veterans Association because our veterans carry this stress, this post-traumatic stress disorder, all these different emotional things, and they use this for immediate relief. And I've taught all of my athletes that come to my mental performance program how to tap in the bathroom stall right before the game to remove those butterflies. How to tap when you come to the sideline and you're upset and quietly just take your helmet off and kind of sit there and, your teammates won't know what you're doing. They won't know what you're doing just to move yourself out of that. So that's what the emotional freedom technique is. It's just one of the many modalities that I use to try to figure out which tool in the bag can I grab out to help my client for what they need at that moment?
That's also awesome. As I was just this morning, because I like to go down different rabbit holes on stuff. Just this morning, I was reading about a guy, and I can't believe because it was only a couple hours ago that I can't remember his name. You may have heard this story, but this dude in 1912, I think, or something like that, put himself in a 39-day self-induced hypnotic state. And when he came out, he had just written volumes of what he had been downloaded to him. Crazy stuff that today we're like, yeah, well, we get that now. But in 1912, they were like going to put the dude in asylum, right? The only person who would talk to him about it and go down the rabbit hole with him was Nikolai Tesla.
Mm.
So Tesla and this guy got together, and Tesla said, we got to write all this stuff down, but you got to bury it. Do not expose this to the world because people will put you away. They think you're crazy, right? So I guess my point of this is that these things
And,
that you're doing, these downloads that you're doing, the galactic stuff that you're doing, I mean, the energies that are out there in the universe that we just ignore every day of our lives because we're just trying to survive or we're poisoned or our bodies are blocked. This is amazing what you're doing, bringing these things to people and using it to heal, which is so unbelievable. I mean, because it's out there, but just so few of us acknowledge it.
and the concepts of my best-selling book, Amazon bestseller, Empowered by Consciousness.
Hmm.
I talk about in the book the power of the breath, the box breathing technique, the
Yeah.
4-2-6 technique, the 6-2-8 technique. Inhale for 6, hold for 2, exhale for 8. 4-2-4-2-8. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 8. If you continue to do that in a high stress situation, you now control the stress and it dissipates. And I talk about hypnosis and the power of hypnosis. I talk about remote viewing. I'm a scientific remote viewer. An associate remote viewer. I'm certified in both remote viewing techniques, which is finding unknown targets that's unknown to me and describing what they are, moving my consciousness to different places. Associate remote viewing is more of a predictive type remote viewing situation. Who will win the Thunder and the Indiana Pacers game tonight? What's the over under? Let me go through a process and use my associate remote viewing schools. Is that a good business or not? I've helped clients pick the right slot machine to play when they go to Las Vegas, or the right hotel they should stay in when they go to Las Vegas to give them the best chances to win using associate remote viewing. Well, Jason, are you psychic? Gary, you're psychic. Everybody is psychic.
Exactly.
Intuitiveness is a psychic ability. I've
Yep.
just strengthened my intuitiveness
Mhm.
to a level where I can make a prediction on how I feel. I use the sway test, muscle testing. You've heard of the sway test and muscle testing.
Yep.
That works. It's your higher self basically telling you yes or no. That's basically what it is. So, using all these different tools and perfecting them and being taught how to use them. And I write about this stuff. I write about the subconscious mind. I write about psychedelics. I've done psychedelics. I did them specifically, the albino strand of mushroom, specifically to write about it in my book so that I could understand. Because I don't like to write about things, Gary, that I have not experienced. And that was the crux of me writing this book so I can empower myself, empowered by the consciousness of knowing. And so that book was amazing and it helped me create different concepts to then go create cognitive reframing tools in the mental performance program that I have right now that I'm using on inmates or probationary clients here in Houston, Texas, Harris County. And I'm able to perfect these tools that I've created. Now, cognitive reframing is a term that's been out there. Psychologists use it, and mental behavioral experts use these tools, and that's nothing new. But the framework that I use to to allow the person who's I'm trying to get them to refrain from this behavior of not having winning habits, this behavior of not understanding how to trust the process over the outcome, this this sign that they're giving me that they don't have an elite mindset. So I'm helping them cognitive reframe, and I have a framework that I put on top of it called RPM: react, pace, and motivate. And I have them, after I take them through a series of visualizations, helping them become aware of their past, present, and future. And then I ask them to observe themselves in the past, observe the moment that they were great. Then I take them through another exercise to observe yourself in the future, which was 100 times better than your past self. Look at that person in the future. How are they reacting? Just observe them. How's their body language? Are they standing up tall or are they slumped over? How are they pacing themselves, which is pace? Are they breathing like a champion? Are they breathing fast, slow, heavy? Are they breathing calm? And if you can look at that person while you're observing them in the future, like, this is me, my future self. What motivates them to succeed? That person. So RPM, react, pace, motivate. I teach them how to use this invisible emotional regulator, this watch they can press. So that's the framework I put together. It's a proprietary framework, but it's easy, it's simple. And but
What
I
are you doing? What are you doing with incarcerated people? I thought that's pretty beautiful because, man, a lot of forgotten people that are hanging out in prisons. They come out and they just go back in. You know, the recidivism is just insane in this country. So what do you do when you get in there and you find these guys, gals who are in prison for whatever? You work with them as they're being released, or do you work with them while they're there to try to? What is that you're doing with the
I work
prisoners?
with the population that are in halfway houses. They've been sent there by the judges as a last resort effort before you go to prison. And within this halfway house is the Harris County Supervision and Corrections Department, which is led by the Gateway Program, which is in 9 states across the U.S. They have 9 different locations, and they administer this mental health classes and training to these individuals. I work in conjunction with Judge Lori Chambers Gray here in Houston, who says, okay, mental health is, experts and mental health therapy is fine. But Jason, can you give me something different that will reach these people? I'm tired of sending them back and forth. I see them in my court all the time. Judge Gray, I'm a coach. I'm not a therapist. I'm a coach. And if I can coach these men and women on how to be elite in the mind, how to understand their self awareness, how to develop winning habits, how to trust the process over the outcome, how to be leaders, how to have consistency and discipline. I'm coaching them on tools. And Gary, you and I have played high school, or we've done some sort of sport, or we had a band director, and the term coach is an endearment. It's not like a therapist. These young people, these people don't want to go to therapy. Well, the label of therapy, but I can coach you. And there's a certain level of respect from a coach. I remember my coach. I mean, my coach, man, I love my coach. My coach told me, man, my coach always told me that level of respect. And she was like, "You're right." And we did our first 1 month cohort um, a month ago, and we're in the second cohort phase right now. And this is what I'm teaching them. And a person asked me, "Well, do you dumb down your program when you're teaching all these 12 essentials to an elite mindset?" I'm like, no, I'm coaching them. And I tell them, I'm coaching you to have an elite mindset, to have winning habits, to have emotional control. I'm coaching you how to be consistent and disciplined. I'm coaching you to understand how to trust the process over the outcome. I'm coaching them through all these 12 essentials, which are 12 different courses,
Yeah.
to reach peak performance on elite mindset. I told the young ladies I was in the class yesterday, I said, I coach young women that play soccer, that are in dance, that are in the choir, how to be elite at what they do. I'm not changing my curriculum because you guys are behind in a correctional facility right now. You're getting what they get, and if you can't take these tools and take yourself to the next level, I am not the person to sit and give you therapy and ask you, "Are you feeling great? How's your mom? Are you are you okay with me talking to you right now?" You're in the wrong class. I'm a coach, and I coach people to be elite.
I love that. Yeah, and you
Coach,
know
I
what?
love you, coach.
I
Coach, and
love
they
it.
come up to me at the end of class, Gary, and coach, that was a good one today, coach. Coach, I like that, coach. But we use a book. The name of the program is called The Next Chapter. And we use a book by Shaka Senghor called Righting My Wrongs. And he was a formerly incarcerated individual who committed a number of crimes and murder, and he was shot, but he found redemption in jail and in prison. And he wrote his memoirs and he wrote this book, which became a bestseller. And so this judge took this book and said, Jason, can you administer the principles of this book and infuse your mental performance tools to help these people see how to right their wrongs and then teach them these powerful tools that I see that you have. And that's how the next chapter began. And that's what I do for them in the facility.
And that's powerful. I mean, think about it. That is most likely. I mean, some of those kids might have been in high school sports or pee wee something or other, but it's still most likely the first time in their life that someone has given them these tools and done it in a way that is not talking down to them, not making them feel less than, not giving them a head trip, someone not being superior over them, but just taking them and saying, "You're valuable. Now let's give you the tools. Let's give you the tools that you need to go to that next chapter." I mean, this may be the only time in these guys' lives they've ever been exposed to that. And it's got to be changing lives, right?
And you know why, Gary? Coaching is expensive. Even in my profession, I've had many coaches. I had to pay for my spiritual coach. I had to pay to become a certified. I'm a double certified mental performance coach. I paid two different mental performance coaches to coach me. Gary,
Right.
you probably had coaches. It's expensive. Of
Yeah.
course, they're not getting these tools like this, but
Mm-mm.
they are here in Harris County. And they told me, the administrators of the building, we need this program. We need many people like you. I know you do, but it's expensive.
It's
And that's why it's not
expensive.
accessible.
Yeah, and I've done real. I'm a real estate broker for 35 years by trade, and I've done coaching, real estate coaching for freaking ever, and I've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars over
You
the
see what I'm
years
saying,
to
Gary?
be coached by some dude to teach me to do better at selling real estate. I mean, let alone working with the mind, and I've done NLP training and all these different
Neuro
modalities,
linguistic programming.
right? To just be a better human. But I love all this. I love all this. I and for anybody who maybe it's kind of gone over their head or they're like, wait a minute, I gotta listen to this a couple times because Jason said, I just want to bring up one thing that everybody can understand that I love that I've did for years and years, and I used to get my kids doing it, and that's your vision board. That's your vision board. So I gotta ask, do you still do these vision board parties?
I do vision board parties. I host, well, I'm asked to host vision board parties for some of the executives I work with.
That's
I have a
awesome.
portion on my website that is just dedicated to vision board parties. You can contact me. I'll come. I'll show up. And Gary, Guess how I got it? From The Secret, from Leanne Rhymes that wrote The Secret. And that's how I really learned, Gary, about metaphysics and what the crap is metaphysics. And they were talking about the vision boarding. They were talking about the law of attraction. It's
Yep.
fascinated me so much. And that was my first introduction to, oh, if I say this 5 times a day, 3 times a day, I mean, I'm sorry, 5 times each, 3 times a day for 3 weeks, I can get what I want. Oh, that's metaphysics. Oh, vision boarding. I've been vision boarding for the last 9, 8, 9 years. Every year when I look back at my board, over 80% of the things on that board are done. I've gotten it.
Mhm.
Absolutely amazing. Gary, I love vision boarding. I love
I,
it, and I host vision board parties.
I think it's just so great because, as I was going down the rabbit hole of Jason Medlock and I was spending a lot of time on your website, and because the levels of what you're doing is so awesome, right? You can be
Yes.
out there in the galaxy for somebody, but then you could bring it back to the simplicity of a vision board for somebody else who maybe isn't ready for galactic stuff or
Yeah.
the other things that you're doing. I mean, maybe somebody's not into quantum healing yet, right? But everybody can get a vision board. And I just love that. I thought, man, this dude does it all. I mean, he's got the whole first circuit of stuff. I literally remember one of the first ones I did 40 years ago, and it was a picture from a magazine because you pull them out of magazines. And there was a husband and wife on a mountain skiing, and there was a Mercedes and there was a Range Rover, and there were two boys like real close in age, and they're all skiing down this mountain, and I don't know why the two cars are there. So I clipped that out, and I said, I want that visual. So now, of course, I have two boys close in age that we both ski with, and we snowboard. Um, I never got the Range Rover, but I did have the little Mercedes, but it's like I look back and I go, that picture came true. And that's got to be from 40 years ago, right? So
Right.
that's vision boards work because your mind will take you there. But then you take it to the now. Once we've done the party, then you go to the galaxy. Then you go to the quantum healing hypnosis technique, the emotional. Buddy, you got it all covered.
But I segment my tools
Yeah,
for the audience. Like I
yeah,
can't give the Harris County's, the city, I can't give them this type of me. I give them the mental performance program that I have that is influenced by all the things that I've learned. But I keep it with cognitive reframing tools and I keep it with the RPM experience and the 12 essentials for an elite mindset. And they can learn from that. But then I have clients that may be Gary, who's already understands these things and he's interviewed hundreds of people. Then I can do quantum hypnosis with him. I can teach him how to have an out of body experience. I have a section, a chapter on astral projection in my book, Empowered by Consciousness. I've left the body. I can induce an out of body experience and feel the vibrations in your skin almost like starting a car until the body pops out, and then you're looking at yourself sleep. I've studied Dr. Bob Monroe and the Gateway program that the CIA was involved with Dr. Bob Monroe and Harold Puthoff and all those guys that were in the astral projection, the psychic spy program, along with the remote viewing that they all worked on at SRI, the Stanford Research Institute, with the government, with the CIA. So this is fascinating. I write about all of this. This is stuff that you hear all the time on the YouTube and on the all the documentaries and things like that. So I studied all these things just so I could understand how to expand my consciousness, what I could do as an individual, Gary. Not that man, this guy is crazy. No, I'm just experimenting on what we can do as humans. What powers do we have? And I shouldn't say power, what gifts do we have actually? Can I'm watching this show? Can I actually do this? I've proven I could. And that's why I wrote the book. And I've written 3 other books: The Mental Game Plan for Athletes and Coaches, Finding Freedom from Within. It's a book on people who are currently incarcerated and the techniques they can do to keep themselves centered and not lose this, the mind, while they're incarcerated. And I've written other books, Unlocking Potential, and that's for the formerly incarcerated. And now you're out in the streets. And how do you unlock this potential? How do you cope with the everyday life? And I have tools that we've already discussed on how they can create a new life for themselves. So this is what I do. It's self-help. If you had to put it in all one bubble, it's all self-help tools that's wrapped in spirituality.
Yeah. And you have all different levels, which I love so much. And Jason, you've been wonderful. And I know I kind of stretched our time a little bit, but yeah, you've been wonderful. Now, you can read people, so you know I'm a liar. So you know I lied when I said I only had one question, because I have a second question
Uh,
that I don't give anybody at the beginning. I give you the what if you could question, but I never give you this question. So before we head off, what do you have a one thought or one last message or one last saying or just something that means something to Jason Medlock that you'd like to leave our guests with? It's a thought before we head off.
Gary Shore. I'd like to tell the audience to relax. You hear different concepts, allow yourself to have a growth mindset. Means that you're constantly trying to learn new things, even if you've learned it before. Maybe someone else said it differently. Don't have a fixed mindset. Don't think that you've learned it all and oh, that's wrong and this was wrong. Just relax and allow yourself to continue to learn. Trust. And once you relax yourself and you're growing in this, you know who you are, learn to trust. Trust your intuition, trust your heart, trust and discover. And it's time for you to now discover the new things. Try it out, practice. Always keep an open mind. Discovering things is awesome. Relax, trust, and discover.
Oh man, that's good. Because because as a coach and as a healer and stuff that you cannot do anything when you are not relaxed. When
Yes.
you're tense, you talk to Michael Jordan and it's like these guys who are stressing hard are going to miss that shot every time. But when he's so relaxed, he's like, I've done this in my sleep. I'm going to make this three-pointer at the buzzer because that's what I do. You cannot, when you're tight and your energy's being blocked, you can't. So I love the relax and then trust. Just trust the universe. Trust
And they
yourself.
they
Trust your God. You
and they
trust.
use mental performance coaches, the high-end athletes, to
Oh,
be able to do exactly what you said. And here's a
all day
quote
long.
that I have on my website. Most successful people, they do well. But the ultra successful people have a coach, but they'll never tell you that.
But you
And
know
that's my
who will,
quote on my website.
but you know who will tell you that all the time is Michael Jordan. Michael
Yeah.
Jordan will say, I would never be without a coach. He's got a financial coach. He has a training coach. He had uh, Phil Jackson. I mean, he is one of the biggest proponent of a coach. And like you said, most of the most successful people I've met, Tony Robbins has
Yeah.
a coach. I mean, the guy makes $5 million an hour to coach somebody, but
Yes.
he has a coach. I mean, the most successful people will tell you that they have a coach because once you think you know it all, you're toast, man. And that's where you are on the opposite. You keep learning, you keep going. I mean, Jason looks for another avenues and you take those downloads, man, and you work it. This has been amazing. So
Yes.
so Jason Medlock, how do people find tell us about your podcast, tell us about your YouTube channel, your books, your teaching. Where can we find all this stuff?
You can find me at Expansion of Consciousness on YouTube. You can find me at The Mental Game Plan on YouTube. But jasonmedlock.com, www.jasonmedlock.com. And once you go to that website and you go to the About section, you can click on the Mental Game Plan website. You can click on Hypnos Awakening website. But jasonmedlock.com is the base of everything what I do. And there's a lot of things there, and you can branch off to different websites from that site. But I have some free stuff on jasonmedlock.com. The Empowered by Consciousness bestseller on Amazon. You can download the first few chapters for free to kind of get a feel for it if it resonates with you. And if it does, go get the book. But I'm open. I have free consultations. I can help most people clear anything that they're trying to hurt, to get rid of. But most importantly, this is the part I'm glad about, Gary. People call me that don't need help. They're just trying to get better than you are. They're trying to use hypnosis to be sharper than you. They're trying to use hypnosis, but I have these hypnosis programs where I have business success, I have academic success, I have hypnosis to help you learn how to speak a different language faster. So I have different programs to help professionals be better than you. So, and that's to the audience. So don't just think that you have to have a problem or issue. People are using my mental performance programs, even though they're making great money. You have to understand that, like you said, these high-end professionals, they stay sharp. They always work on the mind. And if the majority of us would understand how to continue to tune and grow the mind, but Jason Medlock, Medlock.com.
I love it, man. I have been to that website. I went down the Jason Medlock rabbit hole. I clicked on every link. I went all over the place, and there is some great stuff. I mean, the books are downloadable. You can buy the books and download them. Go to Amazon. But there's a lot of really great stuff on there. And like I said, every level, you go to Jason Medlock, you can start from every level. You can do your dream block, you could dream your dream wall, you could put that stuff together, or you can go all the way deep into the galaxy or find your third child. But it's all there, man, on jasonmedlock.com. Thank you so much, man. There's nothing more fun for me than meeting someone like you, kind of thinking of something's going to go one direction, it completely goes the other direction. We go down some awesome rabbit holes. This was really fun. I'm very grateful. Very, very
Gary,
grateful.
thank you. I knew we were going to have a great time, and I'm glad we've done it. And I can't wait to see it come out.
It's
Yeah,
going to
I
be
knew we were
good.
going to have a blast.
People are going to love it. So, all right, everybody. You have just been exposed to amazing Jason Medlock. Please go to jasonmedlock.com, find all of his great stuff. And thank you for joining us on another episode of the What If You Could podcast. Just grateful you guys are here. All right, Jason. Thank you, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Okay,
See you,
buddy.
everybody.
Take care. All right,
Take
bye.
care. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of What If You Could podcast. Please subscribe, like, share, and give us any feedback. We'd love to hear it. And remember, if you can dream it, you can do it. See you next time.